Okay, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now, fasten your seatbelts. Here we go. All right, guys, I'm back. It is Friday, the 13th of March. Spooky. Anyway, we are going to get into the news, and I'm sorry that I'm getting to this very late tonight, but as whatever would have it, full panic has hit this area. The schools have all shut down, and all the dentist's office are shut down, which is bizarre if you ask me. I mean, I understand, the dentists, I'm sure, don't want to be putting their fingers in people's mouths during this time, but just odd that just the dentists, and I don't know what else is going to be shut down, but people weren't taking any chances. Walmart, no parking. None of the grocery stores in town had any parking. Not a stitch of toilet paper in this city or the next city or the next city after that. No toilet paper and no sanitary wipes or anything like that. All that's gone. Hand sanitizer, that's all gone. Everything. People are just buying up everything. Now, I did want to make sure that if that does happen, I have enough supplies here, and I wanted to be sure that my parents, who are elderly, had enough, because I don't want either of them to be out in grocery stores and possibly contract this, because it's a death sentence for elderly people. Anyway, so that's what I was doing today, and I'm exhausted. I don't know why, but that stuff is more exhausting than anything. Just fighting through the crowds and, constantly having to wash my hands, try not to bump into people. Oh, I just never have seen anything like it. Not here. It's bizarre. But anyway, that's what it is. It is what it is, and you have to deal with it. So I had to make sure that I was prepared today to get all my cat food and litter and everything that I need. I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars trying to stock up. So I'm trying to convince myself it'll be okay. These are groceries. You'll eat them. It's not like you're just throwing money away. But anyway, all right then. I hope you guys, your preparations are going well. I do think it's wise to prepare, really. And we all should have been doing so sooner, actually. But it is what it is. I'm glad that I stocked up on toilet paper. The very first thing I did was stock up on toilet paper, and I'm glad now. Anyway, now I do have some people to thank, but I'm going to wait until the end of the program to do that. And I'm probably going to have to do 2 videos tonight, because I've got too much for one video. So I'm going to make them 2 medium length videos instead of one giant long one, because since it's late, by the time I get this uploaded, you're all going to be thinking, she's not going to post tonight. I am. I really am. Here I am. Okay, so let's get into this. This is more news related, and I have another sheet of all coronavirus updates, which I think is very important during these times. Not that I'm wanting to spread fear at all, but we need to be prepared. And if other people are panicked, that means that they go in and they buy up all the supplies. And then if you need something, you can't get it. So it's always a good time during these situations. It's just like when I lived in Charlotte, it was the most bizarre thing. If snow was coming, there was no bread and milk. And we all would joke about that, especially Canadians. We'd be like, what's with these people? What's with the bread and milk? Unless they were using the bread for traction to, I don't know. But it's just crazy. So anyway, we don't tend to do that here if there's a snowstorm coming. Not unless it's, talking huge amount. Then people will go and just stock up on a few necessities, but it's not like you go in and there's no bread or milk. Anyway, I digress. Let's get into this. I've talked enough. I feel something on my teeth, like I have little sweaters, and I don't know why. Anyway, I think I still have some spaghetti in my teeth, but nevertheless, I digress. All right, here. This is just about the most shocking news I've seen today. The news of Bill Gates' resignation from Microsoft board if not entirely unexpected, came at a time when the world's wealthy have seen their fortunes plummet due to the coronavirus instigated panic on the markets. End of an era. Bill Gates steps down from Microsoft board. Now, this is huge. I mean, huge. It kind of makes me wonder what is going on. And I know a lot of people have said that this could be a cover for them going in and making the arrests. Well, you know something, it wouldn't surprise me at all if they used this to do just that. But to say that this whole thing is fake is ridiculous. It's ridiculous because if you are paying attention to world news and seeing some of the pictures and videos that are coming out of other parts of the world, my gosh, you can see the mass graves in Iran from space. How is this fake? But anyway, I do think that they will use this opportunity maybe to round those people up and do what they are going to do with them, hold trials or whatever. But I don't think that this is fake, and I think that we do need to be cautious and protect ourselves. All right, now let's go on from there. And this was extreme. Oh, that's not even from today. Never mind. Somebody tweeted that and said, what's he talking about? But it's not even from today. Donald Trump back in October said something big happened today or something like that. So yeah, I didn't even notice, which tells you my state of mind. All right, let's look at this. I feel like a little chatty Cathy tonight, so I'll try to stay on topic. Breaking. Hillary Clinton files appeal to stop her court-ordered email testimony. It's not going to work, Hillary. Well, it might. You never know. It seems that she gets away with murder. Yes, lots of them. Lots and lots of murders. But again, I digress. So let's get into this. Judicial Watch founder and president Tom Fitton dropped a bomb last Monday morning. A federal court ordered a deposition of Hillary Clinton on her emails and Benghazi attack records. Hillary Clinton hit back on Friday and filed an appeal to stop her court-ordered email testimony. Yeah, gee, I wonder why she wouldn't want to testify. Can't imagine. Tom Fitton breaking Hillary Clinton appeals ruling that she must testify about emails. And says big Hillary Clinton ordered by federal court to testify on email scandal. Plus, Schumer threatens Supreme Court should he be prosecuted. Yes, but he's not going to be. They just seem to, you know, give him a little bad boy. Nothing. If that were you or I wonder what would happen to us if we threatened Supreme Court justices. Just wondering. I know what would happen. So do you. In September, Judge Royce Lamberth granted Judicial Watch significant new discovery on the Hillary Clinton email and Benghazi scandals. Judicial Watch in September released transcript from the hearing on August 22nd, where Judge Royce Lamberth granted new discovery and witnesses on Hillary Clinton's email case. Judge Lamberth, a Reagan appointee, blasted State Department lawyers defending Hillary Clinton who were working to cover up her email scandal. There is no Freedom of Information Act exemption for political expedience, nor is there one for bureaucratic incompetence, Judge Lamberth said, warning the government lawyers. Judge Lamberth also lambasted the State Department lawyers when they tried to stop Judicial Watch from gathering more evidence in Hillary's case. So Tom Fitton has been doing wonderful work at Judicial Watch. Really, he's been responsible for us finding out a lot of good information, and he just keeps hammering away until he gets what he's after. So you gotta hand it to him. And I think that will be wonderful if she has to answer, if she's questioned about these email records, because I don't think that she can talk without lying, and be nice to see her lie under oath. Anything to get her. because really, aren't we just tired of her and want her to go away? It's like, go away, Hillary. Go. It becomes pathetic after a while. It's like if you love someone, like you love this guy and you just have to have him, or girl if you're a man, but you know, and you're just doing everything, and they've done everything in their power to tell you, look, I'm not interested, but you keep embarrassing yourself. That's the way Hillary is with the country. The country just wants her to go away. Look, Hillary, we're not interested in a relationship with you. We don't even want to see your face. Please go. Please. And yet, she just keeps humiliating herself, putting herself out there, making different excuses. Every time it's a different excuse why she lost. She can never just say, hey, I lost because the country didn't want me. It's like, you know, have you ever read that book, He's Just Not That Into You? Well, they need to write a book like that for Hillary. Your country is just not into you, Hillary. I'm just saying, it's just not that into you. We just want you to go. Bye-bye. All right, take you and your doubles with you. We don't want to see any of them either. So there we go. We've finished that one and we're on to the next. And I told you I was chatty tonight. Some nights are like that. All right, let's look at this. Because we can. Representative Matt Gaetz puts out brutal tweet in response to Andrew Gillum being one of the 3 men in a hotel room with 3 bags of meth. Yeah, that doesn't look too good, does it? Former Tallahassee and Democrat candidate for Florida governor, Mayor Andrew Gillum, was involved in a crystal meth incident at a Miami Beach hotel early this morning. Andrew Gillum ran for governor in a hotly contested race in 2018 that left Floridians furious after multiple issues with vote counting occurred in Broward County. The Miami New Times reported that a source with knowledge of the incident confirmed that Gillum's date of birth matches the identifying information of Andrew Gillum, whose name is on an incident report circulating on Twitter this morning. According to the official police report, Miami Beach police arrived at the Lux Mondrian South Beach hotel room where the former Democrat mayor of Tallahassee, Andrew Gillum, and Mr. Megas, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but were reportedly inside before 1 a.m. at the, they put a period here, at the what? Can't anybody write anymore? And does nobody understand punctuation? All right. Okay, I'm over it now. I'm over it. When Miami police officers arrived at the scene, the Miami Beach Fire Rescue was treating Travis Dyson for a possible drug overdose. According to the report, Mr. Dyson was in stable condition. The official police report states that Aldo Mejias provided his credit card to Mr. Dyson to rent the hotel room yesterday afternoon, according to Megas, and they keep spelling it differently depending on when they write it, so who the heck knows how you spell his name. The 2 men were supposed to meet later that day. Megas told police that he arrived at the hotel room around 11 p.m. and that Mr. Dyson opened the door and immediately walked over to the bed and collapsed in a prone position and started vomiting. Megas noted that he also observed Gillum in the bathroom vomiting. When Megas saw that Mr. Dyson was having breathing issues, he tried to wake him and said he began giving Dyson chest compressions and called police and fire rescue for help. The officer stated in the report that they found 3 small baggies of suspected crystal meth on both the bed and the floor of the hotel room. Officers said Gillum was in stable condition and that Gillum left the hotel room without incident and went home. Shortly after the news broke, Andrew Gillum released a statement saying he was in Miami for a wedding celebration when first responders were called to assist one of my friends. Gillum denied using meth but admitted to having too much to drink. Gillum called the incident a distraction to our movement. Oh, yes, it is a distraction to your movement. Yeah. You know what? Try that on a police officer. If you're in a car with 2 other people and they have meth, try telling the police that, oh, no, it wasn't me. I don't know where that came from. I have no idea. Doesn't work. Not that I would know from firsthand experience, but I know from being in the police that it doesn't work. All right, so this is his statement. I was in Miami last night for a wedding celebration when first responders were called to assist one of my friends. While I had too much to drink, I want to be clear that I have never used methamphetamines. Hook him up to a lie detector test. He's lying. I apologize to the people of Florida for the distraction this has caused our movement. Yeah, right. Fellow Floridian Representative Matt Gaetz put out his own statement on the Andrew Gillum situation, and it's hilarious. In his tongue-in-cheek tweet, Gaetz asked for everyone to respect Andrew Gillum's privacy as he explains why he was one of 3 men in a hotel room with 3 baggies of meth, too impaired to talk to first responders. Gaetz added, "I know what you're all thinking. This is not very COVID-19 hygienic." Yeah, that's what we were thinking. No, it isn't. Three baggies of meth and 3 people in the hotel room. Gee, doesn't take a genius. Anyway, we recently reported on Travis Dyson, the man who, according to Miami police, overdosed on meth. Travis Dyson, the 30-year-old Florida man who was found in the Miami hotel room with Democratic politician Andrew Gillum, is a male escort. Who claims that while Gillum claims he was in Miami for a wedding, Dyson was not there for a wedding. Oh, no. He was there for a little man-on-man action, apparently. Police said Dyson appears to have suffered a drug overdose. He is conscious and in stable condition in a Miami area hospital. Oh my. All right. That's a lovely picture. Dyson maintains a profile on a website for male escorts and is studying as a nurse practitioner school. At a nurse practitioner school, Gillum has been married to R.J. Gillum since 2009. The couple has 3 children together. In 2018, Gillum, 40, was a surprise winner of the Democratic primary for governor in Florida. Gillum lost the general election narrowly to Ron DeSantis, thank goodness. Since then, Gillum has been a rising star in the Democrat Party. Between 2014 and 2018, Gillum served as the mayor of Tallahassee. And of course, he would be a rising star in the Democratic Party because the more, stuff like this will make him a superstar in the Democratic Party. Oh, yes. Yes, these are the things, because then they look at him and go, oh, he can be compromised. Yeah, he'll keep our secrets. There you go. Male escort. He certainly looks like one. Okay. Alrighty. Now, this is from 3 Days, 3 Nights on Twitter. It said, what has to happen to allow civilians to be tried in military tribunals? Ex parte, Milligan, 1866. Civilians can only be tried in tribunals if civilian courts aren't functioning. Corona fear will force courtrooms to close for public safety. Tribunals will be legal then. And down here, this is a Q post from a while back. What must be completed to engage military intelligence over other 3-letter agencies? What must occur to allow for civilian trials? So I don't have any doubt that this virus will be used, because you never let a, what do they call that? You never let a crisis go to waste. This crisis is here. I think it's been planned, but by who? I don't know. I would assume the deep state, but strange thing. Somebody showed me, actually, I was at my back doctor today, and one of the girls in there showed me this thing by Sylvia Brown. She had written, I don't know how long ago, but quite a while ago. She's long dead, I believe. Anyway, she had written in there that in and around 2020 there would be this virus. It would be all over the world, and it would involve a pneumonia in the bronchial tubes and in the lungs. And it would, spread around the whole world, but then it would disappear as mysteriously as it began. So that's interesting, and actually that's encouraging if it's true. I'm not into psychics whatsoever. I believe that they get information, but I'm Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. So there you go. I don't know, but also there was a book written, and I can't remember who the author was. Was it Dean Koontz? I don't know. Somebody correct me on that in the comments below, but they wrote about a virus, in and around this time as well, back in a book in the 80s, I believe. And there are other things. The Simpsons have predicted it. The short film, or the short animated film, I Pet Goat 2 predicted it. So I think it's been planned, because they always tell us in advance what they're going to do. So I do think it's planned. I would not think that Trump is in on it. I would certainly hope not. I wouldn't think so. In fact, I think Trump has had a hard time even accepting that this is real and that it's as bad as it is. But I don't know. I do think that it'll be used, because if everything's shut down, how would we know if they're rounding up these people that have indictments? How would we know? We wouldn't. Very convenient. All right, so we're going to skip over to the other page. Well, we're not really going to skip, unless you want to. I mean, you can skip if you want to. We could all hold hands and skip. All right, now we're going to get into this, some of these updates, and I'm just going to go for a few minutes, and then I'm going to upload the first video so that you guys know that I'm working on these. But I'll get about halfway through this, and then or no, I won't even get halfway through. Never mind. I'm just talking to hear myself talk, I guess, tonight. I don't know what's wrong with me. I could talk the leg off a dead mule. All right, I'm ready. All right. Coronavirus, Italy suspends mortgage payments amid lockdown. Now, I think that that's very, very nice. And I see in Canada here, Trudeau, announced that they are going to make sure that people can pay their rent during this time and whatever. Well, I don't particularly believe him, because I don't think they can pay everybody's rent, because there's a lot of people, they're shutting down. They've shut down the theaters. They've shut down the schools. Who knows what they've shut down the dentist's office. Who knows what they're going to be shutting down next. And I don't know how they can pay all of Canadians. I mean, they'd have to pay mortgage payments for people too, right? Wouldn't they? I mean, it's not fair to pay somebody's rent and not pay somebody's mortgage, and when they're both laid off because of the virus. I don't know what'll happen, but Justin refuses to be, well, I don't know if he refuses, but he has not been tested, which I find very hard to believe. And his wife is now positive for the virus. He is at home with his wife and 2 kids. Apparently the wife is staying in a separate part of the house, quarantined from the rest of the family. But I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if Justin has it as well. And I hope that the kids don't have it. They don't deserve that. All right, let's look at this now. National Guard to deploy 1,000 troops in 6 states in response to CV, which is what I'm going to call it, so that it doesn't, go through the censors. All right. The National Guard announced Friday that it is deploying 1,000 troops across 6 states by the end of the day as part of the national response to the CV pandemic. Statement said that as of Friday morning, 400 Air and Army National Guard personnel were present in 6 states, Florida, Iowa, Louisiana, New York, Rhode Island, and Washington, having been requested at the direction of their respective governors. The National Guard Bureau serves as a national coordinating agency if a state needs assistance from the National Guard present in another state. By the end of the day, we expect that number to approach 1,000, it said in a statement. So far, 33 states have declared emergencies in response to the spread of the virus, and President Trump was expecting to declare a national emergency on Friday afternoon. The announcement comes as major sporting and other events are called off or postponed. Businesses across the country institute telework policies, government buildings and schools shutter, and other disruptions rock the nations amid efforts to curb the transmission of the virus. More than 1,600 Americans have tested positive for the virus, and experts expect that number to rise significantly. So far, 41 people have died in the U.S. The Guard said in a statement that members are being trained on responding to the virus, including identifying and preparing facilities for isolation, housing, and compiling medical supplies. The National Guard's first priority is to protect our people while saving lives. National Guard personnel will provide assistance to the states that include logistical support, disinfection, cleaning, activate, conduct transportation of medical personnel, call center support, and meal delivery, the statement said. So I also saw in the news today that they're expecting, I think it was 50 to 60% of the Canadian population to get the virus. I don't know how they can project that, but I guess they have the ways and means. All right, now let's go back. Let's go back here and let's look at this. Right. Ronna McDaniel, once again, Donald Trump is taking aggressive action to confront CV to unleash the full power of the federal government. I am officially declaring a national emergency. Now, let's listen to our president here. It's only 1 minute and 37 seconds.
Power of the federal government in this effort today, I am officially declaring a national emergency. Two very big words. The action I am taking will open up access to up to $50 billion of very important and a large amount of money for states and territories and localities in our shared fight against this disease. In furtherance of the order, I'm urging every state to set up emergency operation centers effective immediately. You're going to be hearing from some of the largest companies and greatest retailers and medical companies in the world. They're standing right behind me and aside of me. I'm also asking every hospital in this country to activate its emergency preparedness plan so that they can meet the needs of Americans everywhere. The hospitals are very engaged. New York and various other places are also very engaged. I just spoke with Governor Cuomo. We had a very good conversation, and we're working very strongly with many states, including New York. The emergency orders I'm issuing today will also confer broad new authority to the Secretary of Health and Human Services. The Secretary of HHS will be able to immediately waive provisions of applicable laws and regulations to give doctors, all hospitals, and healthcare providers maximum flexibility to respond to the virus and care for patients.
I wanted to comment on this because I don't know if you're seeing this, and maybe it's just as obvious to all of you as it is to me, but he is not on his game there. He's stumbling. Usually he's able to talk and just have notes and look down occasionally. He's reading it right off the paper. He doesn't seem quite sure of what he's saying, and he doesn't look as spunky or on top of it as he usually is. He looks a little bit crestfallen, not defeated. I'm not going to say he looks defeated, but he looks crestfallen. And it could be because he sees what's happening. It could be because we're just entering into, I think, the period of time where everything that we've been hearing from Q and everything will start really happening and really start exponentially speeding up. But there's something I don't like about this. There's something off in the way he's talking and his body language. So I don't know, but I noticed this says 3:33 p.m. is when and I don't know, that's an odd time, if you ask me, to start it. And I noticed the last one he held, he ended it at 9:11, right on the dot. Interesting. Very, very interesting, if you ask me. So let's go back here, and we've got plenty more. Now, you may ask, as I did, what actually does declaring a state of emergency do? What does it entail? Well, here we've got the answer. The United States Constitution implicitly provides some emergency powers in the article about the executive power. Congress may authorize the government to call forth the militia to execute the laws, suppress an insurrection, or repel an invasion. Congress may authorize the government to suspend consideration of writs of habeas corpus when, in cases of rebellion or invasion, the public safety may require it. Felony charges may be brought without presentment or grand jury indictment in cases arising in the militia when an actual service in time of war or public danger. So I'm not really sure of everything that it entails, but these are a few of the things it entails. Very interesting that he has now called a state of emergency. Anyway, now, what time is it? All right, let's look at this. Okay, Pollock, Democrats pushed impeachment while coronavirus spread. Well, that was their number one priority. They really don't care about Americans at all. While Democrats were diverting the attention and energy of the entire country into a pointless trial that could not possibly have ended in anything other than President Donald Trump's acquittal, the coronavirus pandemic was beginning in China and arriving in the United States. The timeline of the two developments, impeachment and CV, is shocking and reveals the true cost of hyper-partisanship. January 11th, Chinese state media report the first known death from an illness originating in the Wuhan market. January 15th, Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, holds a vote to send articles of impeachment to the Senate. Pelosi and House Democrats celebrate the solemn occasion with a signing ceremony using commemorative pens, which aren't worth too much now. I mean, really. Maybe they would have been worth something if he was actually impeached, but yeah, no, they couldn't get, articles together that actually, had evidence to back them up. There was nothing. So January 21st, the first person with CV arrives in the United States from China, where he's been in Wuhan. January 23, the House impeachment managers make their opening arguments for removing President Trump. January 23, China closes off the city of Wuhan completely to slow the spread of CV to the rest of China. January 30th, senators begin asking 2 days of questions of both sides in the president's impeachment trial. Maybe if they'd laid off that and let him concentrate on the safety and security of the nation, then, maybe it would be different. Who knows? January 30th, the World Health Organization declares a global health emergency as CV continues to spread. January 31st, the Senate holds a vote on whether to allow further witnesses and documents in the impeachment trial. January 31st, President Trump declares a national health emergency and imposes a ban on travel to and from China. Former Vice President Joe Biden calls Trump's decision hysterical, xenophobia, and fear-mongering. Yeah, that didn't age well, did it? No, didn't age well at all. February 2nd, the first death from CV outside China is reported in the Philippines. February 3rd, there's a little piece of fuzz floating around. That's what happens, just get distracted by little things that other people can't see. You probably can't see that. It was there, I swear. Okay. February 3rd, House impeachment managers begin closing arguments, calling Trump a threat to national security. February 4th, President Trump talks about coronavirus in his State of the Union address. Pelosi rips up every page. Sack the Ripper. Sack her. Anyway, February 5th, the Senate votes to acquit President Trump on both articles of impeachment, 52-48 and 53-47. February 5th, House Democrats finally take up CV in the House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on Asia. For 20 days from the day the first death from CV was known, Democrats did nothing about it. They were too busy with the president's impeachment trial, a trial Pelosi had delayed unnecessarily for several weeks. To the extent that they commented on CV at all, it was only to tear up the president's remarks or call call him racist. They told the nation that he, not CV, was a threat to the national security of the United States. In the midst of that all-consuming trial, it is remarkable Trump was able to do anything else at all, but he did. And one of the things he did was impose the China travel ban just one day after the World Health Organization declared CV a global health emergency, and the day before the first victim of the pandemic died outside of China. For his trouble, he was criticized by the World Health Organization and called hysterical by his future 2020 rival. When Republicans warned Democrats that impeachment was a waste of time, a divisive partisan exercise, and a distraction from the real issues facing the country, a lesson Republicans learned the hard way in Bill Clinton's impeachment 21 years before, Democrats ignored them. Just a few weeks later, our divided leaders were taken by surprise by the pandemic and bickered on cable news, asking why nothing was done sooner. But we know why. Yeah, we all know why. Okay. All right. Let's go back. Here we go. And let's look at this. Because we can. Look at this. This is not good news. Not good news at all. Hang on here. Okay. Says CV. Ivanka Trump self-isolates after photo with infected Australian minister. So that's not good. And we need to pray that she is found, if she's tested, which I would assume she will be, that she tests negative. Ivanka Trump has self-isolated after she was pictured with Australian Home Affairs Minister Pete Dutton days before he tested positive for coronavirus. The move comes after New Zealand's first Tracy Martin, who was with Dutton, is that how you spell? I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. And Ivanka Trump last week at a meeting for Five Eyes Partners focused on fighting online child exploitation in Washington, D.C., has since also gone into isolation. That's not good news, people. And I just pray that she will be okay. It says yesterday, Home Affairs, Peter Dutton, joins Ivanka Trump, Attorney General Barr, and our Five Eyes partners to fight online child exploitation. We heard from 9 brave survivors and announced principles that technology companies should implement to protect children online. So this is not good. I think this is the man in question here, and both Barr and Ivanka are in very, very close proximity to him. The White House confirmed Ivanka Trump was showing no symptoms of the CV and did not need to self-quarantine, but had decided to isolate herself at home. Well, she does need to self-quarantine. Obviously, if you've been in contact or around somebody that has the virus and has tested positive, of course you need to self-quarantine. The White House is aware that Mr. Dutton tested positive for COVID-19. He was asymptomatic during the interaction, Deere said in a statement. Exposures from the case were assessed, and the White House medical unit confirmed, in accordance with CDC guidance, that Ivanka is exhibiting no symptoms and does not need to self-quarantine. She worked from home today out of an abundance of caution until guidance was given, Deere continued. But here's the thing. You don't show the symptoms for sometimes up to 30 days, or there was one case where it was like 41 days or 42 days. So just because she's not showing symptoms doesn't mean that she's not positive. So, yeah. All right, and it says what you need to know. New Zealand has activated its national pandemic plan, which is currently at the keep it out phase. So this is more geared towards New Zealand. So I'm not going to read that because it really doesn't apply to us. It says the statement did not say if Ivanka Trump has been tested for the coronavirus. A day after being photographed with Dutton and Martin, she attended an event at Mar-a-Lago with her father and a Brazilian president, Jair Bolsonaro, who had allegedly tested positive for the virus, but has since denied the reports. U.S. President Donald Trump has since declared the CV pandemic a national emergency as Washington struggles with providing Americans with relief and officials race to slow the spread of the outbreak. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end it here and get this uploaded, so at least you'll know that I'm recording tonight. And then I'm going to pick it up from there, and I'm going to do a part 2 and finish the rest of these headlines. All right. Well, there you go. Oh, people to thank. Absolutely. We have to thank people. People must be thanked. All right. These are coffee donors. I always want to say donators, and that's like the worst grammar. They're coffee donors. Ursa Bruin, thank you. Angel, or is it Angel? I would pronounce that Angel, which is a really cool name. Anon, Diane Haney, Electric Angel 69. That's a cool name. Anon, Aaron McGrath, or McWraith, probably McWraith, and Robin, Wall of Fire. Now, I may have already thanked these two, and I'm not sure now, but I would rather thank them twice than not at all. So also, we had Mithridates increased their pledge on Patreon. So thank you very, very much for that as well. So I appreciate you guys. It's what makes this possible, and I appreciate it more than you know. I really miss you guys when I don't record. So anyway, my voice is much better. So I'm hoping to catch up over the weekend and probably do, a couple of days where we have 2 videos. So there you go. I'll make it up. All right. Well, that's it for this video anyway. And I'm going to end it here and wish you all a good night. Stay safe, stay well, stay blessed, and keep seeking truth. Good night, guys. Oops, I forgot what I was doing. I'm really out there tonight.